Halala, ULWASA halala. Are we happy to be here? Awesome, awesome. Mr. Vice Chancellor, Professor N.M. Makhalong in absentia, the Deputy Vice Chancellor for the University of Limpopo, Research, Innovation and Partnership, Professor Jessica Singh, Professor R.N. Madaje, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Teaching and Learning, all the executive deans, directors of school if you are here, HODs if they are here, and most importantly ourselves, ULWASA members, I greet you all. My name is Itumeleng Chidi, and I'm going to be running this program for today, where we are officially welcoming new members to our organization. And of course, those who have renewed their membership, you're also welcoming yourself to the new year of 2024. This is a special event for all of us, women scholars. Hey, it is nice to be around women scholars. Asemang lemang. Asemang lemang. All right, without any waste of time, I'm going to change our program a bit. We are going to start with Professor Singh, who's going to be speaking on behalf of our patron. Because of other engagements, she has to leave. So we are going to allow her to speak first, and then from there, our chairperson will do the official welcome. But in the meantime, feel free, relax. Don't say you are not yet welcome. She's still going to officially welcome you. But as Prof is going to be speaking, feel free, feel welcome, relax. And ladies and gentlemen, may we please put a round of applause for Professor Singh as she ascends the podium. Mr. DJ, you can also usher her with some music.
It's called an opening function, but we should call it an opening winter function. So it's we're opening in the middle of winter. So I'm bringing you greetings on behalf of the Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University, Professor Makhalong. And I think you all know that he's a patron of this organization. From start, that was a long 16 years ago, 16 to 17 years ago, we started the organization. And Prof has been with the organization all along and treating us like queens, as you can see behind me, treating us like as queens throughout the year, every year for all those years. So unfortunately, he's not able to join you today, and he normally does, but he has sent his greetings to all of you, and also wishing you everything of the best for the academic year, especially the ULWASA team, the executive, and every single member. We have started our activities for the year, and I'm sure most of you are engaged fully at the moment. So in terms of the organization, I just want to check how many of you are joining an ULWASA function for the very first time. Anyone? Wow. Give them a round of applause. So ladies, I think some of you are postgrad students and some of you are staff members. This is how we do it, okay? So I hope you're feeling good today. You're feeling very welcome. You are part of an organization that looks after the welfare of women academics and women postgraduate students at the University of Limpopo. And the organization looks after your academic as well as your social needs. As you can see today, you are in a social environment. You're going to spend time listening to others. You're going to get some words of motivation, some words of encouragement. And that's what we are about as ULWASA. And we also believe that every one of you should be empowered as female staff members and postgrad students of the university. And I would also like to show you the people who are seated here who have been part of the ULWASA executive previously. So if you can raise your hands, executive members past and present, high up so they can see you. So here are the people. There's many others like them who have served the organization throughout the years. So the principle behind ULWASA is that we want to train women leaders and mentors and even our students. It doesn't mean you're a student, you can't serve as an ULWASA member or in the executive of ULWASA. We want to build up your skills, and many of us started in those positions, started postgraduate students, going up to PhD, and we celebrate you like no man's business when you get a PhD. And so we're absolutely proud, and there are many others who are busy and who have got their PhDs at the university. We also promote women in management at the university. So many of our members are actually either HODs, directors, deans of faculties. So can you see you in the right place? And we are hoping that through our writing retreat model, those of you who are postgrad students and staff members, you'll be able to write your chapters for your dissertations and theses. You'll be able to get some mentoring. You'll be able to attend a whole range of activities that will put you in a position where you, let's say, for example, you go for interviews or you want to apply for promotions, you are in a position of advantage, right? So we're hoping to give you all the necessary skills to be able to do that. So what we do annually is that we have an opening event. It's a bit late this year. A welcome. You'll find yourselves being invited to Saturday writing retreats. During the week it could be difficult for you to work, and you need a full day to just sit down with your work, either your papers or your chapters. So we provide you with the Saturday writing retreats. And then sometimes you need a few days to just close yourself out with your sisters and write. So we also provide you twice a year with a 3 to 4 day ULWASA long weekend writing retreat, we call it. And in between, you'll see recruitment drives. We have so much of activities for you throughout the year. You'll be paired with mentors. At the end of the year, we have a function, a closing out function, where we acknowledge all the executive, the mentors. So there's so many different things that we do as an organization. We've been going strong for a long time. And the whole idea is that we want to train others to keep taking over. If you're in the executive, you don't sit there forever. You don't become a, honorary member of the executive. We keep on passing the baton. It's like a relay that we run. And we would love to see young and enthusiastic ULWASA members in the future. So those of you who are new members, we want to especially greet you and welcome you into the organization with open arms. The organization is something that is there to support you and to live your dreams. We also celebrate our successes. You will see we have magazines coming out every now and then. We celebrate your successes. We ask you to report on your success, every success that you have, so that we can also say these women belong to ULWASA. So if you don't know, ULWASA is the University of Limpopo Women's Academic Solidarity Association, right? Meaning we are all one, right? We're all going to work together and to achieve our goals. So from the side of the management of the university, I want to indicate that the organization has the full support of the Vice Chancellor and the management team, both in terms of activities that we do and also financial support for all our events and so forth. So keep going, keep knowing that you have people behind you, you have the whole university behind you, you have the Vice Chancellor behind you, supporting you all the way. So we want to say, enjoy yourself the rest of the day. Today is meant for not writing and talking about writing and whatever. Yes, today is meant for you to just let down your hair, but you will talk about some of the things you're doing, but in a different kind of environment. Not where you are stressed out in terms of academic issues, but in a different kind of environment where you will share and you will learn from each other. And I also want to say something. You will notice at the university, those of you who are new, masters and doctoral, especially postgrad students, You have 6 months when you enter into the university to develop your proposal, present it at your department and school level, get an approval at school level, and get it ethically cleared. So that means, with the help of all the people around you, the university, your supervisors, your department, school faculties, you're going to be working very hard in the first 6 months. So maybe as a team, we also would like so maybe we can also look at providing the support in, the proposal development support. You will get it from your supervisors, but I think we owe it to our students as well as an organization to give you that support, because writing a proposal is very difficult, because very often you have to do it over a few times before you get it right and understand. And also you need the skills behind you, the research methodology skills. Some people don't really understand that it's a two-way process. You must have the research methodology skills in order to write a proposal. You can't say, I will do my proposal and then later on. It goes hand in glove with each other. So all the best. Enjoy your day. I can actually smell the lamb and whatever is on the spit for you. So you've had your breakfast, you're full, enjoy, and then you're going to enjoy a lovely lunch. Thanks everyone. Have a lovely time. My apology. Can I add something quickly? Sorry, DJs at the back. I also want to acknowledge the team, the ULWASA executive team. Kutso, I can see you took off your apron now. This is what this is what it means to be in the executive. Not just saying I'm a member of the executive. It means getting your hands dirty. And I want to acknowledge the team. Please, can you stand up so everyone can see you? Helen, Kutso, and Itu are here. Prof. Seniolo is also here. So I'm leaving Prof. Seniolo and Kutso in charge of you. Can you see professors in charge of you for the rest of the day? So thank you, Kutso. Over to you.
May we please give her another round of applause? Thank you very much, Prof, for wonderful words of encouragement that comes from management. Indeed, we are supported. It is so encouraging to see management supporting such an organization. It's not every day where you see management leaving their hectic schedules to just come and be with us. We don't take that lightly, Prof. We appreciate you. We honor you so, so much. By the way, she's one of the founding members of the organization. She does not miss our engagements, be it closing function, be it welcoming function. She's always a part of us. That's why I say we honor you. We appreciate you so much. We are moving right along with our program. It's not so long. We are going to dance. We are going to dance. We are going to have fun. We are going to eat. We are going to drink and drink. Moving right along, we are going to officially welcome our chairperson, who is going to do the official opening of the event and also just warmly welcome us so that we are free to dance, we are free to engage, we are free to speak, and even understand the organization more deeply. I saw there were a lot of hands that were raised from new members, so I think she can also just outline what exactly we are about so that we can live here fully understanding what ULWASA stands for. But just a quick reminder, U also stands for unity, L for love, W for work, A for affinity, S for solidarity, and A for association. That is just another acronym for the University of Limpopo Women's Academic Solidarity Association. Mr. DJ, rena ko mmona bina msado wa o re eta pele wa o phela romela di email tsa o sfele e ke re binele nyana tle mo pele. Mr. DJ, a very hot song for the chairperson to come and officially welcome us.
Alamara di karbola di taba mushimanyana. Itiama rupai kwale sambu. Isipela la bashimana ba mala kala. Ee, ka re bolela ditaba mošomo ka tsela mošomanyana ke tloga le ena mahlatse sampe wa ga masala o tswa-
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. When I say I'm shy, people don't believe it because I'm always talking, but I'm shy. My name is Kucho Sinyatsi, Kina Tlapiati. Nasana, Musadi wa mina mashwa go lekana ka moka. So, standing here in my capacity as the chairperson of this very progressive association that started 17 years ago as a result of women who had a drive and wanted to see change. I always say that they came, God went before us. He knew that on days like these, we will need to be where we are, supported, and our dreams being realized. During the week, I attended a Grand Masters. It was an awakening to the youngsters to appreciate where we are currently. As the University of Limpopo, we are a historically black university, meaning the beginning of that institution was a community college designed specifically for black people to acquire service skills, become a clerk for the Bantu government, become all those lower ranked positions for the Bantu government. So look into the history so that you can deeply appreciate where we are now, which is a space where the girl child is given an opportunity to study further, but not alone, with all sorts of funding, with all sorts of activities that changed throughout time. So whenever I say ULWASA is a redress, I mean that it's a measure that was put in place so that we can always have opportunities. Mine is to welcome you. Today, I had to start with the history so you can see how far we've come. I would like to welcome the Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University in Absentia, Professor Matlo Mogalo, ke phola phahla, Mokgaditse. We made sure that we have what we have today and all the other things that we usually have that made us feel like queens. I would also like to welcome the DVC of Research and Innovation, Professor Jessica Singh, who just left. And then in absentia, the DVC of Teaching and Learning, Professor Armadaje, who's my former master supervisor. So if you see any excellence in research, know it's from that man, kindly supervising me so that I can become who I am. And then I would also like to welcome in absentia the research office team, Dr. T. Mabila and Professor M. Selepe, who sends their well wishes and then they are committed somewhere. They also usually do come and support us. I would like to welcome the logistics people who got us this nice podium that is branded, and then the marketing, the A team that responded very quickly. I sent them an email, I think at 8 p.m. By morning, I had a confirmation that they will all be here. Social media, live streaming, cameras, print media. So we thank you very much. You always cover us so well. My two boys think that their mother has a YouTube channel that is sponsored by the University of Limpopo. And then I should be able to afford to buy them a PS5 because they always see me, University of Limpopo Kujo, University of Limpopo Kujo. So thank you. It means you're doing a great job. And I've also realized that there are so many women who join ULWASA through the coverage that you provide for us. We thank you for that. And then I'll also like to thank our service providers for the day. We are sitting comfortably, very comfortably. Is the Forbearance Oracle team. They gave us also ushers, so we're just sitting, queening and winning and thinking of great stuff, and then they are saving us. And then the Gomoraleng Speed Bright team. Thank you very much for the nice food, and welcome to this event. I would like to talk about the new members and the old members, welcoming them. We welcome you, the returning members. Your return proves to us that what we do has value. Otherwise, you would have just left us alone after getting your ethical clearance and stuff. But you are staying, and even after graduation, we see requests that can we come to the retreats, can we join this and that. We deeply appreciate your return. The new members, welcome. Welcome. You are highly valued. The Vice-Chancellor paid for everything today to ensure that you are warmly welcome. You'll get to have sisters who are going to walk with you in a journey that requires a true sisterhood. And then sharing life experiences that enables you and us to form lifelong sisterhood. That is very progressive. So we welcome you. Never ever be shy. If you are shy, just WhatsApp me. I'm like you, we'll be shy together in my WhatsApp. So we welcome you, and I'll be telling you the plans that we have. You heard Prof. Singh talking about proposal writing. Our first workshop for the year is next week, Friday. It's online so that we can reach our members who are also students and those who are working outside the university. It will be around 12 to 1, so the teaching staff who will be invigilating, you won't be affected. You will still be able to catch it. It's on the fundamentals of a postgraduate proposal writing. We'll be hosting Professor Masha. He's a well-beloved professor that we've grown to build a relationship with from Walter Sisulu University. So he's returning for the second time. And I've also heard someone saying they'll call him in their department for methodology. This goes to prove that when we get you speakers, we go all out. You are queens and you deserve queen stuff. So we don't play. It will be next week, Friday. The space that we are welcoming you in is not just writing retreats, webinars, trips, and all those. It's a transformative space. You walk in a young girl. You walk out a giant. I can assure you. I always say our table talks, let it be about the things that build us up. I've learned so much from ULWASA lunch table talks, from the policy of the university to everything that most will say they will admire about me, and to learn to lean on people who share the same values. I was happy yesterday when we were forming the, last week, when we were forming the postgraduate. It's a research forum also. Some of our members are there, and when I get text, they say, no, I was recruited by Sawada. I was recruited by this one. So you can see the value that our returning members, young as they are, see, and they want to bring in the sisterhood. So this transformative space not only transforms us academically, but socially also. Don't be afraid to get educated thinking you won't get married. You will get your type, your size at the right time. There are so many wives here who have gotten married in the course of their academic journey. The thing is, once you are educated, your mentality changes. You don't settle. You know research moves. You rationalize. As he proposes you, you rationalize. What is this man trying to say? You know? You gather all evidence, come to a conclusion, whether he's your rightful mate or what. And then you decide, if it's a conclusion that allows him in your life, first publication will come out, the little one. It's a collaboration, you see. So we are not in the business of only getting you educated. You also have to have lives. And our lives differ. Some is marriage, some is what. I just don't want young women to not pursue their goals with the fear that, but the right ones will see you. You'll also see that you are in the top league here. You're not an invela, you see. So continue chasing those dreams, achieving your goals. The support is there. You'll have a mentor if you need one. And then the mentor is dedicated to helping you with your research skills. For example, I teach academic literacy, but I'm mentoring language education, media studies, communication, because I once studied there. And research is universal. There are certain things about research. Once you are in the science field, you can mentor the health sciences. So if you don't get someone who's in your correct stream, we'll get you someone who's closer to. It's good that you develop a good working relationship with your mentor, but always understand that they do not replace your supervisor. They may suggest something, your supervisor always has the last word. And then the writing retreats, they are writing spaces. You sit, focus on your work. Those who have already been to the first one on campus, we sit the whole Saturday, write our work, and then if it's long weekend ones, we go outside the university. We usually go, the first one around Polokwane, we're going to have in June. And then the second one, we go far, and then that one is nicer. It's paid for by the boss of the bosses. Hey, today I'm happy. You can see by Pogolapa, like he goes all out. Last year, in 2022, we went to the range. We had massages. Yes. So last year we went to Euphoria. Euphoria is very scenic. Those who were there, you saw how happy we all were. They were like we showed up on time and everything. So there we were treated to a lunch on the mountain. Like there's always something. What I do like about him is when we go, Prof. Signolo was there when we read to him the activities that we did last year. He didn't even hesitate. He said, you are doing exactly what ULWASA is meant to do. And you know what he said? When we said, no, there's a presentation, University of Pretoria is inviting us, he said, I'll organize a bus. So this year, we are earmarked for a trip. Besides any other thing that will happen, there's a trip that we're going to take. We'll offer a workshop on how to develop the themes around that conference or symposium, if it may be. But this also goes to show that when we are at work, we are seen. We are not walking alone. Liverpool will never walk alone. So he's always working with us. The university management supports that we grow in scholarship as women within the association. So appreciate that, and the appreciation will be seen in what we get up to this year. The writing retreats will write and publish. Mentorship, we are mentoring and then we progress. And then social activities, we get to know each other, you know. You learn from those who've been there. When I struggled with my PhD, when sitting down, I had how people also were fatigued, and I was like, okay, so this is normal, I'm not lazy. And then I was kinder to myself. This is what I also mean by the social transformative spaces. So don't be afraid to reach for dreams. Get those PhDs, those master's degrees. You will be Magotis one day. But you'll be a different kind of a Magoti. You see, the one who knows how to research looks up any recipe. When you go to your mother-in-law, you have 2 buckets of 20-liter scones and muffins. They know the one from university is here. You see, you don't look down on them. You are educated, you are well-read. You influence everyone who isn't in your level to come up. So I will be reading to you the program that we have outlined for this year, so you can see what you've signed up for. We were not selling you dreams. You will see. Miss Mukolo was there when one other lady said, I missed the first writing retreat, the long weekend one, but I attended the Saturday and the second one, and by the end of the year, I had my ethical clearance. So if that is in progress, I really don't know. And then our program has started. We already had our first Saturday writing retreat. And then we had a transformative talk. It was a collaboration with the University of Pretoria. So we are going to have a journal club. It was supposed to be this May. It's going to be in June. Let me briefly talk about what this journal club is. It will be from the humanities. So any one of us from the university sitting here can choose an article to critique. If you need reference, I can always send the last one, how we did, so you can learn. What we are trying to achieve with it is for us to develop research speaking skills, because we can speak, right? But when we speak in research, we're speaking a certain type of a language. So if we learn to do this as young scholars, by the time we are publishing and traveling and meeting peers outside the university, we'll be so good that it won't take us long for our work to be recognized. And then anyone can volunteer on this one. We're not limiting to the executive or whoever member. Even the first year ones, the ones that just joined, can volunteer. Also ask your mentor to help you. We're going to have a webinar on the 31st of May. Fundamentals of proposal writing, like I said. We are having this welcoming function now. And then in June, we'll have a research methodology webinar also, where we are focusing on different types of research methodologies and which ones you can take. And then in June again, we'll have mentor-mentee pairing. So Prof. Signolo is our mentorship coordinator. She'll be matching us with our research soulmates. We will also be having a long weekend writing retreat in June. Here the date may change because of the exams and supplementary and stuff, because the only holiday is around the exam period. But if we get approved, we'll go around the 16th of June. And then we have a writing retreat, Saturday one, on the 29th of June. And then 15 July, we have a journal club themed from the Faculty of Science and Agriculture. Once again, feel free to volunteer. We will be of support. And then we're going to have a community outreach. This is where we collect sanitary towels and polishes, toothbrushes, toothpaste, to form dignitary packs, dignity packs that we can donate to schools. So when you do have time and the resources, please just buy and donate. We'll be at the office to take them. And then we have another webinar in July, applying for TREC and AREC. This is ethics, which is very important. And because we usually just shoot, we don't know what they are looking for. We're going to have a speaker from the research office who's going to help us shape our ethics application. And then it will be followed by a Saturday writing retreat on the 13th of July. We've asked for a portfolio development as part of career progression from the CAE, where we'll be focusing on, they're going to be showing us the elements of researching, research is in my head, of developing a portfolio specifically for career progression or promotion. And then we'll have another Saturday writing retreat, on the 27th of July. And then on the 2nd of August, we're going to have a webinar on professional etiquette. This will be from marketing. What we are aiming to achieve here is for marketing to really teach us about the image of the university and how we represent the image of the university. Either we are socially engaged or individually, wherever we are, so that we don't find ourselves in a position where they say you've brought the university into disrepute. So we will also have in August a journal club from the management and law faculty, also voluntary. And then we are going to have a long weekend writing retreat. At this retreat, please bring your traditional gear, any tradition that you want to wear. On the last day of this retreat, we wear our traditional wear or gear because we are ushering in the Heritage Month while honoring ourselves as women and the ones who made it possible for us. And then we are hoping to have a symposium on 16 August 2024. And then it will be followed by a webinar Friday, which is writing the literature review. But we decided that we don't just say literature review. Look into systematic literature review, scoping, and so forth, meta-analysis. And then on the 6th of September, we're going to have another webinar in developing a postdoctoral research, meaning helping you develop a niche area after attaining your PhD. When you look at our programs, they are not only looking at a certain area like upcoming or emerging researchers or new scholars. We also look into those who are trying to establish themselves. And then we'll have a Saturday writing retreat on campus on the 24th. And then on the 4th of October, we'll have the final journal club from the Faculty of Sciences, Health Sciences. And then it will be followed by a wellness day where we'll be focusing on mid-research crisis and mental health aspect, because research does take a lot from a person. At some stage, you feel like you've read everything that you are supposed to read and then you're just stuck. So this person will be coming in to help us unstuck ourselves in this journey. And then on the 25th of October, we'll be having another webinar, harvesting articles from dissertation or thesis. This is specifically for those who are looking into publishing their work after a PhD, or those who are doing PhD by publication. How do you develop that? And then we have the Saturday writing retreat on the 30th of November. This is the last one. And then 6th December, we are having the year-end gala. Gala themed means the Metro FM award style kind of dressing. Yes. So I want to make it clear, because sometimes towards the event, what do we wear? No, gala. Black and white, whichever way, show up like a celebrity. All these programs are aimed at supporting us as scholars, but also our psychosocial aspect of life. I see an old friend of mine here, and I'm very excited. Thank you, Prof, for bringing her. Her name is Chirofajo. We sang together back in the day, so it's a new member. You're also welcome. I'll also welcome my executive. I'm not leading alone, guys. I may be the one talking most of the time, but I'm with a force behind me. The ones that, if I say last minute, they don't say, when you're always telling us last minute. I have this and that. If you see, four of them are not here, but they've contributed to this event being a success. Idea-wise, suggesting who the speaker should be, doing this and that, we all work together. I would like to appreciate you, Queens, starting from our ex-officio, Ms. Itumelenchidi, our secretary, the engine, Ms. Helen Mnisi, our mentorship coordinator, Professor Signolo. Grauri, you must take it from there. We're not only doing scholarly, life also. And then there's Dr. Palani in absentia, who's our publications officer. And then Professor Mutelo, who's our health sciences faculty rep in absentia. Professor Grace Maniello, who's the Faculty of Science and Agric rep in absentia. Dr. Maputa, who's the Faculty of Humanities rep in absentia. Ms. Khatliso Mautu, she's the Management and Sciences faculty rep in absentia. And myself, I've introduced myself. Did I leave anyone? No. The DJ. Yes, so I'm leading with a team of 9 women who are dedicated, besides doing what the university paid them to do, they are dedicated to ensuring that everything that we are going to achieve is achieved. And I would also like to welcome the members, Dr. Pasha, Sis Felicity. These are people who join us with great enthusiasm also, all the time. And I'm very glad Celine Sandeni is here. She knows why she makes me happy. I won't tell you the story. But what the story tells me is you will always have differences. But when you're committed to the same cause, they will be solved. you see. So thank you for coming, Mami. I want to talk about the leadership of the association. We are exiting this year, the 9 of us. What happens is, in the beginning of the year, January, I was elected with my team on the 26th of January 2022. We call a meeting, the AGM, and then new members are elected. Now, Prof. Singh said you can also serve as a student. I want you to take that and run with it, because there's so much growth in saving. You look at yourself and be like, wow, I cannot believe I used to be like that, and now I'm like this. It's a space of growth. When I started, Manyelo, Mutelo, Palane, they were miss like me. You can see the progress that we are making. Mutelo, Manyelo are now professors. Palane is a doctor, you see. So, you are not led by people who are not leading by example. No. You can see and hear about them. I used to go to Prof and say, Prof, that executive is made up of NQF level 9 and 10 people. And he will laugh and be like, Utomil. I say, Prof, look at them, all enrolled. And it's always good to say, Prof, you see the ones who just graduated, they are professors. And we have the management also. Professor Manyelo is acting HOD in a department. Yes. Ms. Mautu is acting HOD in a department. Dr. Kekana is a former mentorship coordinator. She's also a HOD now in a department. So when we say ULWASA is transformative and progressive, we are not playing. We got results. We are researchers. We show you proof. Data here. Analyze it. So it's going to be a pleasure spending a day with you. We'll take pictures. The setting is right. The vibe is all right. The music is fine. Monday, when we go back to work, we'll be stressed. Warm regards. So whether the regards are warm on Monday or what, today, Jaivani, let's groove. There's the liquor of happiness in there. Yeah, for those who drink, I mean, I'll just drink Fanta. So everything that makes a party is here. The awesome members, the awesome team from marketing, the food, everything, the venue, tick. We're ticking everything. So let's groove, let's enjoy. Forget about warm regards. Supervisor, we'll see you on Monday. Today is our day. Welcoming ourselves into a year of academic progress. Do not ever be shy to reach out. We are always ready. Welcome. Enjoy the food, make friends. Someone was saying, hey, it's a women's thing only, Gary, you don't like men. No, we do like men. Men are our life partners. Men are the ones who open cans for us when we are struggling. We can boss around the whole day. At the end of the night, you want him to baby you. So we like men, and we allow men to often attend our webinars because it's online. So to the university community and the wonderful, very progressive, vibrant ULWASA members, let's enjoy the year. It's our year. We conquer all. DJ, there's a song, Youngster. Yes! Eri. Nkosi izwa imithandazo yethu. So this year, izwa Nkosi. Because we are praying for ethics approval, we are praying for promotions, for progress, for everything. So let that be, and let us progress. Enjoy the day. You are very welcome. There's no dogs here. No dogs. We don't have the yellow police van. Dogs were from that era. Here we are transformed. We are saving the liberation, the liberation and the efforts that they made that time so that we can enjoy the fruits. This is how we reserve the legacy. Thank you very much.
Just pause the song. Reserve it for when the formalities are done. Thank you very much, Ms. Kucho Hunter. Kucho Sinyatsi Hunter, for such a beautiful words of welcome. this woman speaks. Radio Tef. Ke bone library skipper sa Radio Tef. Re gopala slot sa ULWASA once, so that the whole entire community can know about us. Thank you very much for really, but that was very important. We needed to understand who we are and what we are about. So much has been said. We are indeed in the right space. We are indeed affiliated right. There's somewhere where you can feature. If you don't, you're done with your proposal writing. We've heard a lot about other webinars that are coming that you're also going to be learning from, that you're going to be empowered from. Now we are going to be entertained by our very own ULWASA member with some poetry. Are we ready for poetry? Are we ready for Rain Queen Mo? Ladies and gentlemen, let us put together our hands for Rain Queen Mo as she's going to be giving us a poem. Rain Queen, over to you.
Yeah, no, that's not my song. Hey, I do not understand the language. But when my song comes, you will see that that is my song. Thank you so much for the nice introduction. And I just wanted to say, it feels good to be back here. I haven't been to ULWASA in a very long time. I think it's been 2 years now. And I had to come back. I mean, I love this place. And I can actually tell you right now that I cannot say that I am where I am without ULWASA. This place, for those of you who are new, you are in good company. I can tell you that. So for those who know me and how I write, they know that you need to bring out a tissue and something else. I always write very sad poetry because I look at the times that we're going through. So I decided today, yes, I will do one sad one, and then I thought, let's do a happy one. I don't write happy, so please bear with me. I will try to do a happy one. If you don't like it, clap anyway. Yes. Yeah. So, tissues ready? Yeah. Of course. Right, so this first one, I wrote, it actually even was published last year in one of the books. So I was very happy about that one. So it's called Lessons from the Devil You Know. Ah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Right, so here goes. Alone at night, she painfully stares as the clock strikes 9. Her stomach churns in twisted knots of agony and mayhem. Shadows emerge as the door slowly opens, and out of sight, he whispers, "Daddy's home, little girl. Daddy's home." He sprinkles holy water as slowly but surely her nightmare begins. She sits in a corner, quiet as a mouse, curled like a tennis ball ready to be bounced to safety. Rough hands scratch and pull her to stand. Face turned, eyes closed, she avoids his unfeeling stare. Face turned, eyes closed, she avoids his mocking smile. His soul so cold, the devil is no match. She pulls, she cries, she fights, she screams. She fails. He slaps her so hard, she goes reeling across the floor like a wind-driven piece of paper. Right on the cold, hard, unforgiving floor, he sprawls her. He roughly undresses her tiny, defenseless body like a painful, icy storm in winter. He thrashes through her already torn being. With every strike, with every blow, with every lash, with every scourge, she slowly gives up the fight. Sorry, I just lost track of where I was. With every blow, with every thrash, with every scourge, she slowly gives up the fight. For she already knows it's a losing battle. Her cries become tearless as she strongly takes the pain. For even though she's been through hell, she still won't be broken. With a heavy heart, she turns her sighs to her mother, her protector, her rock, her supposed shelter in a raging storm. Mama's cruel hands have taken hold of the good book. She holds on for dear life as she nods along in the name of correction. in the name of redemption, with the misguided perception that they can bring perfection to an already rotten soul. Dear Mr. President, free her soul from this cage, from this prison disguised as a home. Deliver her from this evil, from this modern day slavery disguised as family. Throw her to the wolves, the invisible enemy that seems to devour humanity bite by bite. At least that enemy, like Death's angel, would take her quicker. At least this undefeated, unknown monster would offer her solace and mercy. Surely dining and dancing with this new enemy is better than frying in the old hellhole. As he sighs and satisfies relief for a job well done, the last flicker of light fades, then goes out completely, swallowing the very last flicker of hope. Thank you very much. Yay! It's Haremo! It's Haremo! It's Haremo, Hey! Utlile ka yona. All right, so this morning, I wrote this one, and I thought, let's be a little bit happy. The sad parts, yes, our country and our people and our women and our children are going through a lot, but there are moments where we can be happy about whatever it is that we go through. So this one does not have a title. Like I said, it was this morning. Here goes. I wear my African beads and bracelets for beauty. I forget why my people before me wore them in the first place. I wear them with such pride. Not because I earn them, but because I simply look beautiful. Beautiful. What exactly does that mean? Ugogo shows me the scars on her body with pride. She narrates the stories of the wars of the past like an action movie. Only instead of guns, she fought with bows and arrows to keep her identity. The missing teeth in her mouth cause her to spit every time she talks. But the embarrassment is felt only by me. Ugogo is proud of the hole in her mouth. She is proud of her scars, for they are a reminder of where she comes from. On this day, September 24th, I feel so entitled to my Africanness. Yet I have not done anything for my heritage. The next day, I am back to civilization, my identity forgotten yet again. Until next year when I stumble upon it in the streets of September. We are slowly forgetting. Our people are crossing over to the other side without care in the world. Hashtag it's so backwards, Choma. How easy we forget. We used to be a community. We loved each other. We taught our children how to respect and be one with the earth. We nurtured Mother Earth. In return, she blessed us with herbs to cure our souls. What do we call it now? Witchcraft, boloi, loyment, ditlhare di reng mo ngwaneng. We prayed for rain and rain came. Now we pray for Madlamini to trip and fall so we can pounce on her husband like vultures. Pella, he will need comfort. We simply justify. We were not the animals we are today who throw their children in pit toilets or in the trash because we cannot afford or simply don't want them. We cared not for individualism because together we grow in spirit, in body, in soul. We were one. It was not backwards, Bagiti. It was culture. Yours and mine to cherish and never to terminate. From our skin to our innermost features, re sasanga ka meriri ya dikgwasa le ka dikefe tša se-Afrika. Le ge di sa bona dikefe, di a shisha ka pelong mma wena. When the Westerners come and ask, who is this woman, this African queen who walks around with no apologies? Ke re ke nna mojaji. Ba re moja who? Ka re, sorry askis, e re ke go botša mma wena. Ke nna mojaji mošabandone mošaba tšhipi tša makgowa. Ke Mokwena Moila Letlhaka Moroka metsi a pula. Ke motho wa Mbezi Raboyane, motho wa Thabakgolo Matsika Ngope moholo wa dingwe ditšhaba. Ke a fofa ke a namela ke a sasanka o tlo sala o bušia ya ba ke fitile nna kgosi ya mosadi. Mawena, cut the shackles that hold you down, burn the cage that traps your free spirit. Leave a legacy for them to remember you by. Be proud of your yesterday, your today, and your tomorrow. Nagini sapula seri. Wadi onkata di konsi ke do dia ka legadima go tang kgopola ke fitile. Thank you. Ai.
It is not just an ordinary gathering of basading, but it is an association of scholarly women. Women who desire to become professors. Are we having professors in the house? In that hierarchy, if you're a professor, raise your hand or no inspiration. Woo! As aspiring. Aspiring professor, professor. Associate professor in the house, are you here? Our Jamada. Do we have doctors in the house? If you are a doctor, raise your hand. Woo! Halala, Dr. Quinty. Halala. Freshly baked, fresh freshly baked doctor. She graduated recently for her PhD, fresh from the oven. Yes, Quinty, Dr. Quinty is here. Also, our guest speaker, very young, but now you can just tell by the ages. And a PhD candidate, at least PhD candidate. Woohoo! Do we have masters candidates in the house? Woohoo! Masters candidates, we see you, we see you. Honors students in the house, honors candidates, woohoo! Lena le emisha gantši le di-professor goba le di-doctor goba le di-honors. Khutšo ka mo ke all in one ka mo. Ke all over, ke a e bona. We are rubbing shoulders. You see now. Let I know understand. We are rubbing shoulders, but it is what it is. We are here gathering inspiration. We are here to learn from one another. Even in those tea times, in the lunch times, network, ask your neighbor. Don't sit next to the person that you came with. Sit next to your mentor. Sit next to your role model. Sit next to a professor there, next to a doctor there, and ask them, how did you make it? How did you arrive where you are? This is the sisterhood that we are talking about. We are moving right away. There's an item that is known by me. We are just going to quickly insert it now. We are going to have an item by Tsandeni. Ladies and gentlemen, also DJ, give us some music there as we welcome Tsandeni to the podium.
Kuchulo hanga unga tori ndi movie. Kuchulile kwanga unga tori ndi movie. Kuchulo hanga unga tori ndi movie. Usambiwi unga tori filemu. Kuchulile kwanga unga tori ndi movie. Kone basambiwi banga tori filemu. Kuchulile kwanga unga tori ndi movie. Tota mabondola, one bad tota maboridola, damwe bad tota maboridola, ito tota manoriskima, uchilaba usabuti vinimbo. Basante bebangata nifile.
Basmaela lwena tsatsi le tshaba nenneng o pretende o ile o bo ba khutlela jolo ka khama e re ba robetse ba osama phela rena ba blow ba wina disama bophelo hona ke lebente so o ba mnata o kena drama tse ke phusha ke phanda di center I wanna be as big as Obama make headlines.
Thank you, Mutara Marapo. Thank you, Mutara Marapo. Okay, Coco, Josephina Stolamolora. Yeah, as you know, that community member, senior citizen, Who doesn't go without saying anything in every gathering? In the first place, guys, ka hore nna ke tsebe gore ke sa mathomo ka latetswe bana banaka ke kgopela tshwarelo. Let me just say all protocol observed. And I would like to greet all the ladies in the house, all the sisters in the house. I just want to say to you good afternoon. And to Mutshwara Marapo ke a leboga sa mathomo re ke apologize to hijack you. I'm very much sorry for that. A ke kgopela gore go na le wa se khušitše polelo ya rena ke ma a Michelle Zogo ke mmone nna mogekolo ke kgone go di bolela ka moka tše ke nyaka go di bolela mo re ya kwana nkere nka tswela pele. All right, koko Josefina sa mathomo o kgopela le botša gore ladies, you look so beautiful. You are so beautiful, and I'm also excited to be standing before you today to share just a bit, guys. Okay? So, sa mathomo bana banaka ke nyaka go le tsebiša gore as women we go through a lot. As women we need one another. You may be that member who's looking like me. I'll share a little bit later, who thought maybe other women are not important in your life. Ladies, I need you. Okay? We need one another. All right? So let's just thank the leadership of ULWASA and the sponsors who have made it possible that this association is being formed. Okay? So na sekinya ka go letsibisa sona tšetšing la nama motla ke the experience, what I've learned from this organization, however a little bit from distance. Okay, so I would like to know, do we have new members in the house? That's who I want to talk to. Wana ka le mo kae re nke le boneng go ra gore ke tshwanetse ke eme ka mothuko e ke le botse ditaba. Okay? We need this association. We are women academics. We go through a lot. There are obstacles in the road, but kasepedi ba re na re tša tlhoka se ba re keng tau tša tlhoka seboka di šitwa ke na re itlhotša. That is why I said to you, we really need one another. Okay? So in the journey, if you can look at the rows, guys, rows we live in all right, it's Mara, there are thorns. Okay? How guy tshwara was the tshwara rose, you are going to get hurt. So, regardless of the thorns, the rose will still remain beautiful. Whether Nanzandeni ki na thorn in the organization, don't mind me. Look at the beauty of it. Grab the opportunity and run with it. Ushe marina chairperson for grab the opportunity because this is the beautiful thing. Okay? So rena re tlhakana le dilo tse dintsi ke ne go le botsa ka nna sa mathomo ke go le botsa ka nna nna ke be ke ngadile wana ka ke be ke ngadile ke nagana gore ha ke tlhoke basadi ke a ba tlhoka re na le batho ba bagolo ba ba fitileng mo bo Prof Jessica Singh in their absence le bo Professor Satupe Mautu le ba bangwe ba ke sa ba tsebeng batho ba le re lebeletse up to them for us to be able to reach the peak. Okay, ke noka ya Jordan ke ela re tshwanetse re tshele re tshwarelele se se nkgatlhang ke gore in this organization sa mathomo so tshwanetse re ithute ke gore this is sisterhood. Okay, so the most important thing is to look back. Look at your sister. What are you coming behind me? Yes, I am here where I am now as an acting professor. I'm not yet there, but I'm just saying, this organization, they have mentorship programs. When I'm busy climbing the mountain as hard as it is, ke tlhakana le mebetlo ke tlhobega, ke lebelela morao gore se sia ka o mongwe o atla na. So we grab each other. This organization is not about laughing about somebody's struggles, okay? Babanswa, ne? We are not here to laugh at anyone's struggle. We are here to uplift each other academically. We are here to assist each other. We are here to make sure that we all reach the peak together. We don't celebrate other one's downfall, okay? If proposal ya ka ya approviwa ngwana wa ka, e re ke go botse, a re tshware magotla, ra tshware re le money ya ga proposal ya approviwa. Look back, o re sesi bothata bo mo kae ngwana mma. All right? I'm not your supervisor, right? I'm not going to take over your supervisor. But what I need to do is to make sure whatever you want to struggling, maybe I will be able to assist so that we move together along this route. We celebrate one another's, really crown. Let us also wear the crown with her. New doctor, I'm so proud of you. And all the other doctors who are here. And all the upcoming doctors. Let's work together. Whether the Jordan is too full, we carry each other along. Whether the mountain is very high with rocks and thorns and everything, we carry each other along. We persevere. Okay? Resilience as well, and any other word that is fancy, that is related to those words, okay? We carry each other along. We say, sister, let's go. I'm not leaving you behind. All right? Now we want to see ourselves win in this journey because we want to see ourselves up there as well. Doctor, ke morago. A ke re ke tima, doctor. Nkuke mpopulo bona re ke a palelwa. Okay? Nkuke o re sesi o tlo fitla. Re kopana le mathata kara in this academic space. Ke mathata mantsi. It's a topic for another day. Okay? Ke tswa gole. Le ska mpona ke sobana baka. Ke tswa gole. Mara ke haya. La ke tlo lapa nna. Na klape. Whether I approve or I approve, na kaya. Na kitoba professor. Na kitoba. Kula wanaka. Na kitoba professor. Aria sesir. Aria wana ma. Aria sepele. Okay. Raya. Barata basarate. ULWASA goes forward. All the women in this house, I am wishing you prosperous academic journey. Let's move together. Oh, hallelujah. DJ, Aria DJ. DJ.
Yeah, magogo fofa ne, ke thoma mona. But thank you very much, Magogo. Give her another round of applause. That was very powerful. She was just encouraging us that research requires a support system, a very strong system. And that as queens, like they wrote here, may we not break one another, but may we build one another. If you see one sister struggling, Now some of us, if we can share our experiences, but we are standing because of this organization. We are standing because there were sisters who carried us by hand. But you are not going to give up. I could have given up Mina a long time ago. This PhD things and studies and get enough. But you know what? They were Professor Mamorobo. She would call me literally every day. Ara, how are you doing? Ara, soldier on, because life, it is not only academic, but we also have social support. There are women who are just here socially supporting us. Because she's just on its own therapy. And just being around her, she's very therapeutic. And those are sisters who, even in old age, they will tell you, if you can see at writing retreat, also one of the senior sisters, when you try saying I'm tired, but you see somebody penning down, you also get encouraged. That is what the writing retreats are about. Otherwise, we could be writing in our own spaces, okay? But the reason they are booking us away from home is that when you see Mujaji Arianake 8, Marosa laptop, let me also just write. That full stop, that comma, that sentence is very important. At home, you are not going to write it. You are not going to write it. So in that note, halala ULWASA halala. We are on item 5 on our program. Those who just joined us later, we are on item 5. We are going to one of the most important items of the day. We cannot leave such a gathering without being inspired. We cannot leave such a gathering without being motivated. We cannot leave such an a gathering to learn from sisters who have made it, who said, Mina as an ULWASA member, this is what I've learned. And because of that membership, because of that presence in this organization, I'm where I am, and I just want to carry other sisters along. And we are going to be having a guest speaker. But before I call the guest speaker, we are going to have her introduced by Miss H.L. Munisi. That is our secretary for the organization. Ladies and gentlemen, and also Mr. DJ, let us warmly welcome Helen Munisi as she's coming to introduce our guest speaker.
Halala ULWASA halala. Halala ULWASA halala. I greet you all in the name of ULWASA. I nearly said in the name of Jesus. We are gathered here in the name of ULWASA. Amen. Oh, sorry. Again. Oh my God, please pardon me. I'm just used to when I'm holding this like I'm at church, okay? So let's just move along, okay? So my name is Helen, as they've introduced me. Before I introduce the speaker, I just want to give you the register and please sign it. If your name is not here, there's a space at the back, at the end of the names, just write your name. And if you're here to replace someone, please sign on the space of that person, okay? So please make sure you sign the register. Start from here. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to introduce a very special person, and I want you to listen very attentively. And whatever that you're going to say here, please learn something. Please take something. Please, they say it's a take-home message from our special guest speaker today. Okay. So our guest speaker, I'm just going to say her name at the end, but just want to read the bio before I say the name. So she holds a Bachelor of Social Science in Political Science and International Relations at the Northwest University in 2026, and she holds a BA Honors in Political Science at the University of Limpopo. That was in 2017, and she holds a Master's in International Politics from University of Limpopo in 2019. This one is big, okay? So, and she also completed her Doctor of Philosophy in international politics at the University of Limpopo in 2021. Halala University of Limpopo, halala. Halala University of Limpopo, halala. Okay, I'm not done. And she has also presented a number of conferences internationally and nationally, and has published academic papers in accredited journals. She was a research associate at the Owl Socio-Economics Research Institute, in short A, SR in Auckland Park, Johannesburg, and also she remains interested in decolonization and Africanization of education at South Africa in universities. And lastly, the speaker is currently a senior lecturer in political studies at the University of Limpopo. Halala, University of Limpopo, halala! Halala, University of Limpopo, halala! Okay, and are you ready for the speaker? Are you ready for the speaker? I want you to stand on your feet as we welcome Dr. Lebohang Tiego Lihodi. Clap hands, ULWASA. Okay, lastly, this one will inspire you as a young lady. She completed her PhD at 27 years old.
Good afternoon. That was hectic. Khale ke preparile bo Vice Chancellor Mokhalong in absentia. DVC of Research, Innovation and Partnership, Prof. Singh. DVC of Teaching and Learning, Prof. Madaje, Executive Deans, Directors, HODs, all protocol observed. The leadership of ULWASA, members of ULWASA, good day. Lina laka ke Lebogang Tiego Lihodi. I'm a member of ULWASA in good standing. I think when the secretary was reading my bio, you heard that I am a senior lecturer in political studies. When Madam Chair invited me to be the guest speaker today, I'm sure you are aware we are having rallies of ANC, of EFF, but I said, this one I'm coming. And that is because I am where I am because of ULWASA. And I'm not selling you dreams. I joined ULWASA in 2016. So when I was invited, they said I should come and tell you my story, and that's what I'm going to do. Right, so I joined ULWASA in 2016, and I'm looking this side, MC, because this is, mostly our new members, right? And when I joined ULWASA, I was doing my honors, all right? I was very young, and when we heard of ULWASA, they told us, me and my group of friends, they said, you can go to hotels, And then now when I wanted to take pictures. When we got invited to attend ULWASA's long writing retreat, it was at the range. At the time, the chairperson was Prof. Matlo, and the supervisor, Dr. Trifina. And we were just a group of young girls, and we wanted to go to the range, to take pictures, to swim, to take selfies with Prof. Mokhalong, amongst other things, right? So when you attend ULWASA's writing retreat, Madam Chair, when you arrive, you find all these women sitting, and then there's this tradition, when we start, they ask you, what is your name, what are you doing, and why are you here? And then we met people. People are saying, my name is Tiego, I'm doing honors, I'm here to write up my research proposal, I'm harvesting papers. I was like, are we not here? Are we not here for content? We got there, and then I realized, maybe there's something that, I can take from here. And I'm going to be very honest with you. When I joined ULWASA, we were just a cabal of young girls who really just wanted to have fun, right? And ULWASA, what it did, it showed us that, it is doable. When you come here, like I say, I was doing my honors, hearing people saying that they are doing their PhDs. people are harvesting papers. I've heard this term harvesting articles from ULWASA. I was like, hi, Bo. I said, no, we are here to harvest articles from my MA dissertations, from my PhDs. And then I said, maybe I can also do something, right? And that's what happened. I joined ULWASA, and also I wanted to be, part of this women who, are in academia. And as somebody who, is young and, I've always knew, or at least for me, I come from a very political home. That's why I did political studies. I wanted to be, a political analyst. I wanted to be on TV, because like I'm saying, my family, it's, people who, are very political. And when I was doing my second year at Northwest University, niribona, professors having, inaugural lectures. And I think that's where I saw that, I want to join academia. But it is only when I came to the University of Limpopo that ULWASA, gave us the template, to become a doctor, all right? And that was done by attending this, writing retreats, study Saturdays, long writing retreats. And, the group that I'm telling you about when we started, I think we were so problematic in a sense that I think Kiruna group ya Mathomo who made ULWASA to even initiate to say, postgraduate students, we want a letter from your supervisor that you are coming here to write. That's how problematic we were. But I always say, I'm grateful for that because, had it not been that, or had it not been because of ULWASA, young people who want to be in academia. Right, and I'm saying this looking at Professor Signolo to say, detect those problematic learners who no one actually wants to supervise. If you see the cabal of people that I supervise, it's normally the rejected ones, And let me tell you, since I started working at TEF, I don't supervise and that gets to show sometimes it's not those who, are the brightest or the ones that normally people fight for who make it in life, right? So to the young ones, I just want to, advise you to say that, make use of this association. As I did mention, I'm from political studies. Normally when I come to ULWASA, there's no one in my discipline, but it was from this association that I got to make friends, right? Even the writing retreat, you'll find yourself in a bus and people already who know who they're going to sleep with. So I was part of the last ones who wanted to see who doesn't have a sleeping partner, right? And from that's how you get to make friends, right? That's how I got to meet, a Dr. Trifina, because I didn't have a partner, but now I know about botany. Even when I saw her graduating, I was excited because I met a sister here. You meet women who are doing so well. There's also this other one that I met, Barikitsepi. So even from here, ULWASA, when I met her this other time, I saw her, I was like, do you remember me? And she said, no, Kero, no, I once slept with you. And she had no idea. I said, no, go ULWASA, and then it made sense. So just like, the MC is saying, after the formal session, go and mingle with other people, right? These are people who, would, recommend your names in places that you have never been, right? So also another thing that, I want to say is that, ULWASA, what it has done, it gave us, a society. I've seen, sisterhood in its broadest form in this association, right? When you are here, you get to learn from other people. And I think that is what is important, right? To learn from one another, to have that sense of sisterhood. And I'm not even talking about, just academia. What ULWASA does, and I think Prof. Signolo will talk about when it comes to mentorship. You get the opportunity of sitting with, women who are probably older than you, have breakfast with them and even have honest conversations with them, honest conversations that maybe you cannot have them with your own mother, right? We used to have Mama Mokoni, who was a social worker. And I remember, got a long writing retreats, we'll sit and have breakfast. And we'll talk about, genuine conversations on boyfriends and girlfriends and all of those things, and how to maneuver, the life struggles and realities that we face as young women, right? And I think this is really a safe space that, we can all tap into, and learn, right? And then another thing is just to say, have a teachable spirit. One thing that I've learned from ULWASA is that I have to be humble. I think that we once had a talk where somebody mentioned that in academia you never arrive, and that is so true. When I was doing my honors, immediately I finished in a year and I said, hey, I want to do masters. You do masters. We come to ULWASA and you hear people saying PhD candidates, and then you want to do PhD, and then you get here and they say people are associate professors. So you never arrive. And I'm saying this, when they were introducing me, they said, got a PhD at 27. I was so excited, and I got to learn that someone actually got their, professorship at 27 at another university, right? But in what I can tell you in that is that in this, experience, always get to, clap for yourself and enjoy the moment, right? And learn from others, and I think that is what really makes us, these women scholars who, really get to appreciate us. Also another thing, when you get to finish your PhD, I know when you finish matric, they always argue to say universities will be fighting for you. After my matric, universities didn't fight for me. But after my PhD, universities did fight for me, right? And people said, Lordy, why are you still here? I mean, you are young. And I said, I'm at TEFLOB for political reasons, right? And what I mean by that is that I pride myself in being, a product of historically black universities. When you're good, they think, or you have to go to VETS, or you have to be, attached to this, historically white universities. But I always say I'm at TEF for political reasons. I think another point that maybe the secretary forgot to mention is that now I'm the deputy president of, the Association of Political Studies National, all right? And it gets to show you that you don't have to, maybe be attached to this historical white universities to make it. What University of Limpopo does is that it gives us opportunities to shine. I don't think I would be where I am if I was at any other university. At University of Limpopo, you get to go to Saturday writing retreats. There's just an end there where you just drink coffee. You get to go to, long writing retreats, we always say, or we know that, women in academia, we are outsiders within. When this thing called the university was established, it did not have the women in mind. And you see it when you grow older, when you become a mother, when you become a wife, you have to tackle, the unpaid labor of nurturing your family, and also you have to publish, because they're like, Lord, when last you finished your PhD in 2021? Where are the articles? And now you are stuck in this thing of showing up, for your kids, and also being this scholar. That is great, right? And what I want to say is that at the University of Limpopo, platforms such as ULWASA allows you to go away for 3-4 days and write, and become great, and even when I'm with my peers, even from other universities, when you're from UL, you can, in just this year alone, you can attend more than 3 conferences, be it, at the university or anywhere else. You have those opportunities. You have opportunities to publish, with your supervisors, with, your peers who could be writing on things that, you guys, both of you find, interesting. Whereas at other universities, you only get to be exposed to these things maybe when you're even doing your postdoctoral. right? So at the University of Limpopo, guys, I always speak highly of this university because of how, it enables us to triumph, right? And what I would like to say to, all these young women who, could be doing their honors and so on, to say that make use of, the opportunities that, ULWASA and the University of Limpopo offers you. Right? It could be a lot, it might appear to be a lot, but this association, I think Prof. Signolo will speak on it on mentorship. You have people who you can go to and engage with, right, and learn from, because also another thing, when you are in academia, you sit for long hours, you work, you write, you're always behind the laptops, and then you go to social media and find Itumeleng eating healthy, and you ask yourself, how this person, when does she cook? When do you get time to cook and to work out? And you just make time and you engage with such people. This is the platform where you can learn from other people, people pay for these things. People go to coaching, what, but ULWASA allows us to engage, with people here and learn from them and take those things home and implement them, right? And also another thing that also I want to speak about is that, so I was told to just send my bio quickly last night. I saw the email last night, so I didn't even add on to the submission. But also another thing that I managed to achieve last year is that I got to be recognized in the VC awards. I got an award for best upcoming teacher, best upcoming researcher. And all of those things for me, I always say that I'm grateful for ULWASA for, showing me that, it's doable. The women who are sitting here, the women that, when you just see them on the university page and you ask yourself, who's this one? And then you get to learn from them. And I think all of those things, this association that we are having, makes it easy for us to do it. Lastly, what I want to talk about is this one time I was attending a conference in, not Nigeria, in the US, and there was this professor, well-renowned professor of history, Barke Prof. Falola, right? So Professor Falola has written over 100 books. Like, he's very well, like he's established, right? And I think this year or in the past week or so, he received an honorary doctorate from the University of Pretoria. So when we were attending that conference, people used to ask him, Prof, how do you do it? How do you write all these 100 books? So in Nigeria, there's this thing called juju. They call it juju. It's like an equivalent of Stutluan. I don't know how any other language. So they used to make jokes to say, Prof, you must give us your juju so that we also get to write. And when I'm with my peers and we are joking, Prof. Rapayan, who's now leading a department in Northwest, will be sitting and say, Lord, where's your juju? And now that I'm sitting and I'm thinking about it, to say, my juju is ULWASA. ULWASA gives us the platform to go and write, to go and write and finish your studies on time and harvest articles. And I think really that is the submission that I have for today. Thank you very much.
But good night, Helen. But you're a woman of God. That's what I'm man. I hear sorry the mic, little kushisha. But wow, guys, how many are inspired? How many are inspired? How many are inspired? All of us. Majita Nix, Doro Lojada, Ala Teleja. But but we understand it's a women's organization. Lady Plus, Lady Plus. By virtue of your work, you have to be with us. Otherwise, we're hoping the female photographers, female DJ, female social media, whatever expert. I don't know your handles, but yeah, next time we must do it in that order. Kera loka pila, dia go ka sebe bos. Bananyana manonya ke here and there. But you know what? We're inspired. Thank you very much, Dr. Logodi, for such a beautiful encouragement. You could go on and on. You can listen to her the whole day. It was not tiring, even though you said when I was hiking, you didn't even tell me time. You did not take long at all because what you were saying was very imperative. ULWASA ke- urle ke nke juju ya rena. Now we know when they go out and ask us, Itu, how do you do all those things? Kiri ULWASA, it's my juju. ULWASA, it's my juju. Because I also, as much as I'm not a doctor yet, I'm still doing my PhD, but I also have 3 awards, just vice chancellors. 3 awards. And I'm always asked by people, last year you got, year before last. And I'm always saying, ULWASA, guys, there's nothing else that you can say. There's nothing else. So now I have a response to that. When they say, ki ULWASA, all these multi-awards that I also have, I'll now tell them, ki ULWASA. Thank you very much for sharing your story. Thank you very much for inspiring us. Thank you for just being as honest as you are. Ki kulono bulela is normal. I remember when I was in USA and is a daily bread. Like when I was in USA, it just came. It's being a woman scholar. Professor Signolo, I chabo bulela because we put Netherlands. Like it's being a woman scholar. Like it's effortlessly. Bona, write it down. Note this date down. In 5 years, it will be you on this podium. That is what ULWASA is about. And you will be saying the same thing. Yeah, I remember traveling to Nigeria. I remember traveling to USA. And, and then the scholar, Professor Sinyati, she will be a professor by then. And Professor Sinyati was speaking at this gathering. And because I understand, because what? That is what we are about. All right, moving right along. We are going to our vote of thanks. But Mr. DJ, while they're busy preparing, let's just dance a bit. On the item it says music, music, music. Let's just dance and give us a hot song. The chairperson requested this other song. Let's hear it. And then from there, Mimi Tandazo, something like that. Let's hear the song. And then we dance a bit, and then I'm going to come back and give you a way forward. Just give us a hot song. Let's stand up, hug one another, greet somebody that you've never greeted today as we are dancing. 5 minutes, 5 minutes dancing a bit. Mr. DJ. Take selfish. Hashtag ULWASA 1017. Hashtag ULWASA 1017. Selfies upload. can finish the program. We're going to dance and dance. Let's come inside and settle, finish the formalities, and then we are going to dance and dance and dance and dance. Give us that song as they are settling down.
Kwamnandi kulo mhlaba ngicela Nkosi ungangithathi sasemncane nami ngifuna ukuphuza masinyane ngizudala ngishade ngihlale naye kwaze kwamnandi kulo mhlaba ngicela Nkosi ungangithathi sasemncane nami ngifuna ukuphuza masinyane ngishade ngihlale naye wasekwana it's good is nice la 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 wasekwana it's good is nice la 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 wasekwana it's good is nice la 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 wasekwana.
Thank you very much, Mr. DJ. Thank you very much, sisters, for that refreshing 5 minutes. I'm sure you have greeted one another. You've taken selfies. You have taken pictures. Our hashtag is hashtag ULWASA, hashtag UL Events 2024, hashtag ULWASA 1017. Maralam 17 years ago, when I 17 years ago, they can speak. They're even in matric. Some are even doing first year, depending on what year they started their schooling. So we have indeed grown to that maturity. We have indeed grown to that level. We are on item 7 on our program. I'm going to ask our mentorship coordinator to come and do a vote of thanks. We have been here for the whole day. The people that participated in the program, the people that did various things. So we need to thank those particular persons. So without any further ado, I'm going to ask Professor Signolo to come and officially thank everyone for this gathering, to thank whoever she knows exactly what to do. Mr. DJ, a very hot song as we welcome Professor Signolo to come and do the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. Is it on? Okay. Good afternoon and halala basadi halala. Halala ULWASA halala. Ladies, you can give me better than that. 17 years of ULWASA halala. That's better. That's what queens do. I've been tasked with the responsibility to come and give vote of thanks. You would all understand that for every event like this, that is so nice, that is so well organized and what, there are many people behind it. They have said my name. My name is Mapatla Signolo. I am the associate professor in the agricultural economics in the School of Agriculture, Environmental Science, and our faculty, which is known to be the faculty where history is made before our eyes, or those who know it for a long time, they call it Faculty of Sunshine. But over and above, I've been a long-standing member of ULWASA for 14 years. And, and you can imagine why I've been a long-standing member in good standing for that 14 years. It is because of the good work that all the people that have been speaking this morning, since this morning, they have attested to. I also joined ULWASA as Mapatla's Precious Signolo. And today I stand here as your mentorship coordinator, but I'm also Professor Signolo Mukwena. You heard the chairperson in the beginning saying, you can get everything. I'm one of those people that when I was traveling, I've traveled, I think a lot for my age and everything. But people say a lot of things. They can say sometimes that, when is she going to get married and all those kind of things. I even got my father worried. He said he thought I was going to bring a white man at home from Netherlands because I spent more than 8 years there. But I want to say, echo what the chairperson said, that in good times for those that are Christian, that God will make it happen. And I did what I did. I served my purpose. And I'm here standing and I'm encouraging everyone to say, sisters, you may be going through all the battles and everything, but just know that we are all here for a particular purpose. And once you understand your purpose, you don't care who says what elsewhere, but you focus on your purpose and your goal, and eventually you will reach them. Our guest speaker said something that ULWASA provide a framework for you to excel. And I want to say that when you are given a framework, you still have a duty to make it work for you. So ULWASA can provide all the support, can provide all the framework, but if you don't do your part, you will just see people saying ULWASA did this and that, and you will be confused. But if you make the framework to work for you, you are going to be one of those that will echo the same sentiment and say ULWASA works. I'm not here to preach or to iterate any speech. I'm going to go back to the task that I was given. But I just wanted to echo what my sisters have already said since the beginning and what the DVC said. When I joined ULWASA, Professor Singh was not even at that time working even in the research. Those of you who don't know, who maybe joined the university recently, at some point he was even the director of research. But I've watched her growing through all those ladders up until the bigger office that she's today leading, the DVC's office. So those are all the testimonies that at ULWASA is about transformative agenda. The chairperson said that herself. There are many women. You've heard what she said even with the current executive, that people come and within the space of 3 years, they are somehow realizing their goal, their achievement. And I want to conclude by saying that we don't become complacent. We are this generation of women that we are just transforming and we are not looking back. And for those who are watching from a distance, watch the space for all the women of ULWASA. Then, as I want to give the vote of thanks, I want to start with the office of the VC, our patron, who have believed in the vision and the mission of ULWASA, and they have supported it consistently. You know, sometimes in life people give support, but along the way maybe they get tired or the resources get finished. But if there is one thing that we have seen consistently in the form of support in ULWASA, is the support from the Office of the Vice Chancellor. From the time I joined ULWASA in 2010, we have consistently gotten the support, and he really believed in the vision of ULWASA, in everything that ULWASA stands for. And I want to say that I think even the council member of the university and the management, they do agree with him that this ULWASA did play a role. Those of you who know, we used to go to the graduation, either as a student, as a staff member. When you arrive there, you could hardly see a lot of women graduating. And I don't think it's because women did not have potential. We've always had the potential. Come on, guys, you know that. But there are many barriers that are peculiar to women that sometimes become the stumbling block. And with the support, with the platform like framework that ULWASA is providing, we have seen a number of graduates growing. I know my dean from the Faculty of Science of Agriculture, where I come from, that he recognizes ULWASA because he can see that those women, those postgraduate students that affiliate with ULWASA, they somehow make a unique progress that even if you want to ignore, even if you want to pretend you don't know what ULWASA is, you will somehow ask. They have spoken about it. So I want to say on behalf of the ULWASA executive this afternoon and all the ULWASA members, to say to the Office of the Vice Chancellor, Professor Mahalong, re a leboga phogole. And we want to always make sure that we don't take your support for granted. I also like what the speaker said, that when she joined ULWASA, she was the problematic, lost, naive, young, growing girl who's looking for content. But today she's standing here as one of the remarkable women that we will all be proud of, to say Dr. Lugodi can go outside and represent ULWASA, represent the University of Limpopo, represent the Department of Cultural Science. Re a leboga Dr. Lugodi for the transformation that you went through. And it's also good that you said, based on the behavior of you and the younger ones that were joining, some policies were developed just to know how to deal with the young ones, because we will always have the young ones. And I think we must not be angry. We must rather hug them, give them a hug, a loving hug, and show them the right path. And we have seen, if you do that, you will end up with doctors that graduated at age 27. Thank you very much, Re a leboga Professor Mahalong, for forever giving us the support that we need. And the only thing I always say to my sisters in executive discussion of ULWASA, but even outside with ordinary members, that the only thing that we can really give back to the office is for us to be productive and make sure that we represent what ULWASA stand for. Not go to the retreat and just play. It's okay to have fun. Like today we are here to really have fun as the DVC advisors this morning. But when we go back, let's keep the repetition of ULWASA in good standing. We are trying and striving to be women scholars. We don't want to be women and promoted because we are women. We want to be promoted because we are women with the capabilities to lead and to strive both academically in terms of teaching and learning, in terms of community engagement and the research. Those are the 3 pillars for the university that they expect us to excel in. Let us thank the Office of the VC and everyone that support us by doing our best. Now, I want to go to the DVCs. The Office of DVC and Teaching and Learning, Professor Madache, also in absentia. We also want to say thank you. We know you are all behind us. You rally behind us, checking how is ULWASA going, giving advice where needed. Re a leboga Professor Madache. And then in absentia, but you realize if you were following our program from the beginning that we had the DVC of Research, Innovation and Partnership, Professor Singh. I always say to Professor Singh that is like our mother in ULWASA. Despite the busy schedule that, you know, these big offices, they have too much responsibilities, but she always also make time to come and say hi. You can see even today, she has other things to do, but she still had find time to come and give us words of wisdom and encourage us. And it was nice to hear from her, because usually when we see management, they will be asking you, when are you submitting the report? When are those students under your supervision graduating? Those who registered this year, their proposal get accepted. But it's always nice sometimes to hear from the big bosses when they say, today you can play and dance. And I think that's what we heard from Professor Singh this morning, that today just interact, but in another form, and continue to form the network. But let's have fun. Rea leboga. Thank you so much, Prof. We really appreciate the continued support. Then from the Office of the Research at the University of Limpopo, Director of Research, Dr. Mabila, Professor Slepe, who's responsible for staff development in research capacity. We also want to say thank you very much. The research office is also supporting us in many different forms. We go to writing retreat. Chairperson spoke about some, how do you call, they are outside, some they are within, and usually those ones that are outside, they carry a lot of cost, but we've had these offices that are supporting us. Research office has also given us an opportunity that majority of you have benefited. They send us for various courses outside the university. Some of you, you've attended doctoral academy at Stellenbosch, summer courses and so forth, which have equipped you with the skills that you needed for your research, for enhancing your community engagement, your teaching and learning. We cannot take that for granted. You heard the speaker saying one of the things that people may not realize from afar, but all of us that are in University of Limpopo, we don't take it for granted, is the kind of support that the institution is providing for us to grow. So it's really, I sometimes say to my colleagues that it's really up to you as an individual. How do you leverage this lot of support? When we tell other people, I've been given an opportunity to go for a writing retreat with my students who are finishing. People don't know about those things. They are like surprised, but I can tell you they are very meaningful. You go there with a student for 3 days, do concentrated writing. By the time you go, a disciplined student or even that struggling student, they have managed to finalize their thesis, their dissertation for master's or thesis for PhD. They've managed to harvest that manuscript that they were talking about to harvest. Excuse me. So you can't take all those for granted. We really appreciate and thank you very much from Research Office. Then I cannot forget our executive deans of faculties, our directors of schools and HODs. These are our line managers that time and again when we have to run ULWASA executive, especially when we do that during the working hours, we are going and approaching their offices to get leave of absence. You know it, ne? Those of you that are working that you cannot just leave. When you leave, you are doing activities of the university. You need to get some approval, some form of approval from the line manager. We want to also say thank you to them. And we want to say, kindly continue to support staff members that are affiliated with ULWASA and postgraduate students when they are asking to leave, because we will pay back by being productive and doing what is expected of us in return. So we want to say thank you very much. Then Ms. MC talked about, the program director spoke about the fact that, I don't know is MC or is the chairperson, the fact that we have our UL marketing team doing a very great job. And we have had other people that know about ULWASA because of this. And you are very right. Maybe we should have asked Dr. Logodi, where did she see that people are making content when they are in ULWASA? Maybe she was seeing this hashtag when people are in Zebula, when people are in Euphoria and the range. And in that particular moment, our lovely doctor thought ULWASA is just about that hashtagging. But thank you very much, marketing. I think you are doing a great job and continue to do so in supporting all the endeavors in academia. You are doing a very great job. When you see our beautiful magazine coming out and you are seeing us very beautiful and transformed, they work very hard. Sometimes they are taking pictures. Some of us, we are not very photogenic. Myself, they have to tell me 10 times before they get the right one. But they try by all means to make sure that they really portray as well. They really put out our activities there, and we cannot take that service for granted. Re a leboga, and when you go back to the entire team, please pass our regards. Then you see we are in a very beautiful place today. You see all these lights, you were thinking, who is the bride for the day? Because of the queens that we are, and that the University of Limpopo Management is recognizing us as such, we are in this very beautiful place. And obviously there is some service that went there, and it was a service of love, as you can see. We have 2 service providers that assisted us with this. For Beras Oracle, they have supported us with the decor, and we are very grateful. You can see, you saw all the people, the ladies here are very happy. They are taking very beautiful pictures, very memorable. And behind me, you can see the queens. So we like that, and we like to be appreciated. Thank you very much. And obviously, if you do a great job, you are doing your own marketing, and people will love your service, and they will come back again. Then we have Komraleng, because you know, in our African culture, we cannot have a gathering and just dance with empty stomach. South Africans would dance for you, or everyone in South Africa, because South Africa belongs to those that live in it. We dance, we laugh, we sing, but we also love meat, and we love good food. Therefore, we were also treated very well with our spit braai and food. Komraleng. After I've tested the meat, I will help to advertise. So I take that it's mouth-watering. And to our guest speaker, our very own Dr. Legodi, thank you very much for inspiring. I guess today in this hall, there's someone that related with you even more deeply. We all related, but at a different level. But there is probably someone that is probably at the same level that you were that time when you were problematic. And that person, I think you will remember the speech very well, and they are going to be our next speaker in the next event. It is always fulfilling when we have guest speakers. Of course, sometimes we outsource them, but I always say to my sisters that it's even more fulfilling when we have the very same people that are the product of ULWASA, that are the product of the University of Limpopo, coming to tell us. Because sometimes when you have someone, as you indicated, who come from the other institution and so forth, people can say, you thrive because you were in Wewe. You thrived because you went abroad. You thrive. But when you have someone that says, I was here 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, I was working the same journey. I breathed the same air that you were breathing. And I went through the same challenges that you are talking about. It somehow makes much more sense, and you can relate, and from there you can learn. We have learned so much from you, my sister, and I always say dynamite come in small packages. When I look at you, I see a future leader, I see a future DVC, a future director, and a future HOD, and whatever. The sky is the limit. Everything that you put your mind to it, you can be. And continue to inspire all the people that are surrounding you. There's nothing fulfilling like just inspiring people, so that when you interact with someone, when you leave them feeling better than when you meet them. Sometimes life is not just about what you have achieved or what you do, but how you can also make other people feel. And usually when you leave them feeling great, not little, you also touch something to say, because we are supervising. We mustn't only look for the very great student, we must also reach out to those students that are struggling, our postgraduate, and realize that everyone has something to offer. With the skill, with the support that we receive from ULWASA, let us share that, let us wrap it on to our postgraduate so that we can increase the throughput of the university. University is also counting on us, ULWASA members. Thank you very much, my sister. And then to ULWASA executive, I know that organizing an event, yeah, we see it beautiful like this and what, but you have to do the running around, chairperson. You have to run with the entire team, as you indicated. Some, they are here. Some could not make it today. But for sure, there was running around to make sure that today's event is successful. Communicating with different service providers, communicating with different offices, and we are grateful that everything came together beautifully, and the day is a reality. Thank you very much, my core team in ULWASA. They kept referring to me as the research mentorship coordinator because they wanted me to talk about it. But for now, I will just say you will get the communication where you have to subscribe. I'm going to say it in short. You have to subscribe, indicate. When you already know that my mentor is Prof. Kuchos Nyatsi, and maybe you've already communicated, that's okay, make it easier. You can feel that. But there are those new sisters and postgraduate students that you want mentorship, but you have not yet identified anyone because you don't know. Don't feel overwhelmed or don't panic. Just follow the form and feel what needs to be filled. If on the place of the mentor you don't have to put anything. Once we get those form, we will take them, analyze them, and pair them. And those who will end up without pairing, the bigger sisters who would have indicated that we are willing to mentor and support, we will look who match with who best. And then we will still pay you even if you don't know. So that is where I will end it. But the communication, if anything is unclear, we have our secretary who was speaking earlier. You can always raise those, communicate, and we will address it accordingly. If it's something that she can answer immediately, she will definitely respond. If it's something that she needs to refer, she can refer, and then we will answer it. But please make use of that and learn from the big sisters that have walked the path. There is power in giving. When you mentor someone, when you serve someone, you are just simply giving back, because for all of us who are here, doctors, professors, even those of you who graduated masters and PhD, you are sitting here because someone believed in you and supported you in some way. There is no harm in you doing the same. Don't say because I don't have a PhD yet, MC talked about PhD candidate or aspiring PhD, and think there's nothing that you can offer. Everyone has something to offer. You can say, I want to support the student. Maybe you are good in public speaking, you are good in speaking in conference, just helping young people gain this confidence so that they can speak, they can present their research. That is also something that you can offer. You can mentor someone to be a better person so that when they go out and present, they put our university on the map. So everyone has to offer. I know it's very difficult to stand between people and their lunch, but I think I have managed to thank, okay, I didn't thank the Queen themselves. Look at yourself and look at your neighbor and say, you did well by coming to this welcome function, and give yourself a round of applause. And I take it that all of us that are here, we have affiliated. But to our members, retaining one that are home, that have not yet affiliated for 2024, I'm doing a gently reminder that we are still waiting for your membership. Make this organization to grow because you benefited from it, so that the upcoming generation will benefit. I'm going to return the mic back to the program director, and I want to say, go out, have fun, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you very much.
Just
much, Professor Signolo, for the vote of thanks. That was really, really, really proper. Oka se bitse batho se ba leboge. Now you know or no, I was acknowledged. In case your name was not mentioned when they said, and everybody else, you are there. Don't go back home beat and say, no, they didn't call me by name, our poet, you are there. Gogo, you were there. Mara Gogo is no longer looking Gogo. If you are able to spot, I can see the Gogo now. It's no longer the Gogo. If you can't see and spot people, get a. But otherwise, thank you very much, Professor Signolo, for the vote of thanks. Ladies, thank you for being a beautiful audience. I'm also from the office of the program director. I appreciate you. I honor you. When I said dance, you danced. When I said whatever, I said imitate, calling names of people to come to the podium. They did that. They listened and they acted accordingly. Thank you very much for your cooperation. It has been lovely leading this particular train. We have come to our final destination. We are going to eat. We are going to dance. We are going to have fun. We are going to know each other better. We are going to ask ourselves, go to the posters and check and read about what we are about. Check people there. Some are no longer even like that. Their looks have changed and so on. Just check and read. Another poster has been posted up there as well. Read and you'll see the activities that we are about and just remind yourself, particularly that majority of the people are new members that have just joined us this year. You are in a safe space, you are in an academic space. We are certainly going to grow together. I don't know if I'm leaving anything behind, but I think we are going to eat in that order. Our executive is going to lead us there where we had our starters. That is where our food is. We are going to eat there. And if there's anything else, the chairperson will come and announce if there's any other thing that I would have probably left behind. But I see that our food is ready. Are you coming to do more announcements? All right. I will ask the secretary to come and just do more. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's clap hands for our program director. Okay, I'm here on a short notice that while we are eating or after eating, going to have lost and found a very golden, precious watch. Unless I'm going to sell it and have the money. So please come and take it. Okay, so we're going to have our games after eating. Don't just leave. We still want to network with you and still want to know you more. So we're going to have games after eating or just during eating. The games Scrabble and 30 seconds and also cards, okay? I believe that some of them, I don't know them. So I'm hoping that you're going to teach me how to play those. I think we are done. Lost and found, please come to me and yeah, just tell me the name of the watch and then I'll be able to give it to you. Thank you.